Now it's Sunday, October 31st. Race day. Throughout the night and early morning, thousands have been flocking into the arena known as the Super Scenic Super Speedway. It's the biggest event ever for this sandhill section of the Old North State, and more than 40,000 fans have come to North Carolina Motor Speedway to see the world's most modern racing plant. A spectator's dream with no bad seats anywhere in the 30,000-seat grandstand. They have come to breathe life into this new baby and to see the race of the year. It's the first time in 1965 that Ford has a big track challenger, and Chrysler is determined to return triumphantly after a year's absence. Certainly there is no lack of competition in the starting lineup. Richard Petty has his famed number 43 Plymouth sitting on the pole. Junior Johnson, who says this is his last race, has his Ford in the front row in the second spot. David Pearson's Dodge is in third place, meaning the top three qualifying spots were earned by drivers of three different make automobiles. Alongside Pearson on the second row is Ford's old pro Curtis Turner, just recently returned after a 4-year absence from NASCAR. The next two rows are all Fords: Marvin Panch, Fred Lorenzen, Cale Yarborough, and Dick Hutcherson. Then come the remaining Chrysler threats: Jim Paschal in a Plymouth, Bobby Isaac in a Dodge. Rounding out the list of serious contenders are Ford drivers Sam McQuagg and Ned Jarrett. Now, this is it, the first go of the 500-mile journey. This is the moment the multitude of Richard Petty fans have been waiting for. But it's Johnson, not Petty, who breaks into the lead. The baby, known as the American 500, has its first accident less than 10 seconds after birth. What a beginning. One that veteran Darrell Derringer and rookie John Sears won't forget. Both were innocent parties, but both now must retire to the sidelines. Racing experts appear correct on one point. They predicted the first turn would be the action central at North Carolina Motor Speedway. Drops, and it's Junior Johnson out front, driving his last race just like every other one, flat out and belly to the ground, but in hot pursuit are the Hemi-powered Petty Plymouth and the Pearson Dodge. Is go in factory back number 6 as Pearson powers his Dodge past Petty into second place. After 20 miles, it's a picture report card: Ford, Dodge, Plymouth, Ford, Dodge, and Plymouth, as Petty teammate Paschal moves into 6th place. But the leader remains the go for broke Ford man Johnson, whose heaven on earth is out front in a stock car race, and he stays there through laps 30, 40, and 50. But don't look back, number 26, because a pilot named Pearson wants to lead. And the man who's been belching on Johnson's bumper for 15 miles finally moves alongside. Neither man will back off. Careful, careful. But Johnson keeps his lead, and Pearson may have trouble. He does have trouble. It proves costly for Chrysler Corporation in the third turn. Gene Black's number 75 couldn't avoid collision, and after 58 miles, it's all over for car number 43. Richard Petty, one of Star Car Racing's most popular drivers, finds it's a long walk home. Pearson is just slightly more fortunate. He'll continue, but he's no longer a factor. Too much time in the pits to straighten out a banged-up fender. The Chrysler threats are now just two, Isaac and Pascal, and there are 440 miles to go. That man out front just keeps on going. Johnson's been in the lead for all but 2 of the first 70 laps, yielding to Panch on a pit stop. But now there's another Hemi-powered Tiger on the prowl. Dodge driving Isaac advanced to 3rd place after the Petty Pearson accident and is now stalking 2nd place Turner. It's a duel of blood-red cars, and Isaac sweats blood before his number 35 finally overpowers the number 41 Ford. But Isaac's appetite is far from satisfied. He wants the whole hog, meaning the lead, and now he's moving in on the fabled number 26. The Dodge driver has company in his pursuit of Johnson. Turner doesn't believe 3's a crowd, and he wants to join the fun. But 3 was a crowd, and the man in the middle, Isaac, made like an elephant as he went through the eye of the needle to burst into the lead. Auto Racing's 2 roughest chargers, Johnson and Turner, had just been outcharged. From 10th at the start to the lead after 82 miles, Isaac had done his job well. Certainly Johnson was impressed because he announced after the race that Isaac would drive for him in 1966. The story of the lead, the first 99 miles, was the story of Johnson and Isaac. Johnson led for 86 miles and Isaac for 11, but neither was a factor again. The fantastic pace they set resulted in unscheduled pit stops. Johnson ended his career after 154 miles with a blown engine. Isaac continued, but his tires were chunking so badly that he had to back off. Moving into the lead for the first time is the old pro, Curtis Turner, the only one of the first 5 in the early going to be a factor anymore. After 125 miles, the top 5 reads like a Ford Motor Company ad. Turner, Lorenzen, Yarborough, Panch, and Hutcherson, with Pascal's Plymouth occupying 6th place. Pascal pitted on the 126th lap, and a new driver, Richard Petty, took over Plymouth number 42. But it was more than a lap in the rear of leader Turner. Turner's racer appropriately is numbered 41. That's his age, and there's considerable talk in the chitlins and cornbread belt that he's over the hump. But this is the Turner of old, driving with dedication and a broken rib suffered in a race 2 weeks earlier. Can Turner meet the challenge of old age, a broken rib, and a host of young drivers for the remaining 350 miles? For 45 miles, Turner meets that challenge, finally relinquishing the lead to teammate Panch on a pit stop. But it's only temporary, and Pop seems to know it, calmly cooling it while the Glenwood pit crew performs its usual magic. Turner is out in 25 seconds, and now it's Panch's turn. feeling of contentment prevails in the pits of the Wood brothers. Only two cars are in the same lap, Turner and Panch, and both Fords are owned, prepared, and serviced by the Wood family. After 250 miles, the man they call Old Leadfoot is still in control, with Panch running a close second. But Curtis Turner knows the job isn't completed. The blue streak that just passed him was Richard Petty in number 42, getting into the same lap with the two Fords. Are Turner and Panch conserving the brakes on their Fords, or is Petty really that much faster? In any event, the pride of Plymouth is pouring it on, and he's gaining mightily. E.J. Trivett's bout with the guardrail brings out another caution flag, but it gives Petty a chance to move up closer to Turner and Panch. And at the 265th lap, it's a three-horse race. The hum of the excited crowd matches that of Petty's Plymouth as he moves ahead of Panch to take second place. Turner is aware of this new challenge, and he almost loses it in the first turn. But try as he might, and didn't he try, Turner gives way. The new leader after 276 miles is apparently the people's choice, Richard Petty. It's been a long time, more than a year since Petty led at a super speedway, and he seems to be making up for lost time. Petty continues to pull away despite the caution flags. He's averaging 115 miles an hour now, and only Turner remains in the same lap with him. Can Petty's equipment stand the pace? 45,000 fans wonder, and so does Curtis Turner, the man who's under orders to conserve brakes, but also the man who's chafing as Petty charges farther ahead. Richard Petty's father doesn't seem worried. Only happiness lines Lee's face as his son streaks by Turner and goes into a lap lead. It's the first time during the day that one driver has been in a lap by himself. At the 350-mile mark, it's Petty all alone, and then a flock of Fords, Turner, Jarrett, Yarborough, and Panch, all just waiting for something to happen to the leader. Something has happened to the leader. This stop wasn't on the schedule. Impatience is showing, but what's the trouble? This is the worst moment in auto racing. Sitting on the sidelines and watching the race go by. You're defenseless. From a lap lead, Petty now finds himself behind. The frantic pit crew finally finds the trouble, a distributor cap. But now the Petty Blue is 12 laps behind, and the last Chrysler threat has been eliminated. Now all Turner has to do is fight off his fellow Ford drivers. Most persistent of his pursuers is Yarborough, a young man with greatness written all over him. Yarborough, who is still looking for Super Speedway victory #1, tries desperately to take the old pro. classic battle. Youth, meaning 26-year-old Yarborough, versus experience, meaning 41-year-old Turner. But Turner likes a challenge and is giving this youngster a driving lesson. It's been 19 years since Turner started racing, when his antagonist was just 7 years old, and the experience is paying off. The man's hungry for victory. He knows his career as a factory driver may be at stake. But Yarborough's hungry too. The question is, who's the hungrier? Turner's car, that's who. It's a quick stop at the 438-mile mark. The last pause number 41 will have to make. Just 62 miles to go, but Turner probably wishes it were 500 as Yarborough has almost a lap lead. Again, Turner goes into the first turn too hard. Maybe the sun is becoming a factor, as all drivers feared it would before the start. Turner gains, but ever so slowly. He needs a break, like a caution flag where he can close up. Or when was the last time Yarborough took on gas? Too long ago is the signal as Yarborough has to stop. It's quick, just 12 seconds for 10 gallons of gas. But the new leader on lap 474 is Turner. Impossible. Yarborough doesn't believe it. The margin is 15 seconds with just 26 miles to go, and Yarborough pours it on. But he, too, suffers from too much first turn or too much sun. Maybe it's both. Still, he charges. The old pro, though, isn't about to let go. Not this close. He's had too many bumper-to-bumper challenges this sunshiny afternoon to worry about anyone a straightaway behind. Now there's one to go. Turner wins by 11 seconds over a game Yarborough to capture his first big track victory since 1958. Nobody left early. They stayed for the King's coronation and to watch a hero return from exile. Challenge after challenge after challenge. All afternoon, Pops had to prove he wasn't through. Over the hill. Never was he farther back than his starting position of fourth. He led for 239 of the 500 laps. He outfoxed and outdrove stock car racing's best and won the first American 500 at an average speed of 101.9 miles an hour. Curtis Turner thrives on challenges. It's his life's blood, and victory once again is flowing through his veins.